It is my pleasure to announce the following. The Honorable Jesse Naaman, Deputy Secretary of State, escorted by Representatives Winter and Banks. The Honorable Chuck Gray, Secretary of State, escorted by Representative Jennings and Knapp. The Honorable Justice Keith Coots, Wyoming Supreme Court Justice, escorted by Representatives Crago and Oakley.
We will now have the posting of the colors by Cheyenne East High School Color Guard. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please welcome Kellum Carnahan for the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
We want to express our appreciation to the Cheyenne East High School Color Guard for our flag ceremony and Kellum Carnahan for the singing of our national anthem. Let's give them another round of applause. Prayer will be given by Representative Jeremy Haroldson.
Thank you guys so much for coming out today. And as we do this, I want to just leave you with a couple simple thoughts. In 2 Chronicles 1, we get to see a young King Solomon given an entire kingdom with a very, very large burden that sat upon him. And he asked a simple question of God. He said, God, can I have wisdom able to lead a nation, able to lead my father's nation, King David's nation? And God said, now that's a good ask. He says, yeah, I'll give you wisdom. I'll give you so much more. And I want to just speak to every person in this place. It doesn't matter how long you've been here. If this is your first term, wisdom is needed. Wisdom from on high, wisdom from God. Our own will fail us. His will not. Went on in there, and in Proverbs 29:2, it says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. We've been sent here by our constituents to bring about wise and righteous rule. And finally, in Ephesians 6:12, it reminds us that we do not wrestle against flesh and blood. In other words, the fight is not against governments, legislators, lobbyists, or our circumstances. Instead, the real battle is an unseen battle. It's not against each other, and we need to keep that in mind. As the speaker and I were talking this morning, he starts his day with 4 things that he prays. God, give me wisdom. Give me courage. Give me humility. And give me compassion. I think we could all learn from that. And I think we could all say that, God, we need your wisdom, like Solomon. We need your courage to stand in when it's not easy or it's fun. We need your humility to say it's all about you and not about me. And ultimately, we need the compassion to be able to take everything that comes at us in the next 37 days and say, you know what, no matter how this plays out, I will do that with honor. Benjamin Franklin in 1787 said, I have lived, sir, a long time, and the longer I live, the more convincing proof I see of this one truth, that God governs in the affairs of man. And if a sparrow cannot fall to the ground without his notice, it is probable that an empire cannot rise without his aid. Let us pray. God, we come today humbly, understanding that we stand in this place today, being sent here not by our merit, but by those citizens, our constituents that voted for us. God, I believe very wholeheartedly that this is a government for the people and by the people. Let us never forget that. We are servants standing in this post. We are here to stand against the tides that would come against our nation and our state. God, the legislation that comes out of these halls, these hallowed halls, God, let it be legislation that is honoring and upright. God, let us be a people that when history is written about us, they could write that we truly stood for truth, stood for justice, and stood for the ideals that have made America great. God, we come now humbly before you and say, God, if you're not for us, if you're not with us, then we will fail. So God, I start this sessions out by saying, we understand the battle. It's not against each other. It's not against flesh and blood, but it's against the principalities and powers, and we take authority over that in this time. God, I pray that we would unite, that we would take the people that have sent us here, their voices strongly in our ears as we legislate for this great state. God, your name be blessed, and you are worthy. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you, Representative Haraldson, for being with us today. You may be seated. The Deputy Secretary of State, Jesse Naiman, will please call the roll of the House of Representatives and report.
Starting with House District 1, Representative Nyman.
Here.
House District 2, Representative Slagle. House District 3, Representative Angelos. House District 4, Representative Haraldson. House District 5, Representative Smith. House District 6, Representative Strzok. House District 7, Representative Nicholas. House District 8, Representative David Zwanitzer. House District 9, Representative Brown. House District 10, Representative Eklund. House District 11, Representative Olson. House District 12, Representative Stiver. House District 13, Representative Chestick. House District 14, Representative Sherwood. House District 15, Representative Burkhart. House District 16, Representative Yin. House District 17, Representative Larson. House District 18, Representative Heiner. House District 19, Representative Conrad. House District 20, Representative Summers. House District 21, Representative Allred. House District 22, Representative Byron. House District 23, Representative Storer. House District 24, Representative Newsom. House District 25, Representative Northrup. House District 26, Representative Banks. House District 27, Representative Lawley. House District 28, Representative Winter. House District 29, Representative Pendergraft. House District 30, Representative Jennings. House District 31, Representative Baer. House District 32, Representative Clouston. House District 33, Representative Penn. House District 34, Representative Ottman. House District 35, Representative Locke. House District 36, Representative Washit. House District 37, Representative Harshman. House District 38, Representative Walters. House District 39, Representative Wiley. House District 40, Representative Crago. House District 41, Representative Henderson. House District 42, Representative Hornock. House District 43, Representative Dan Zwanitzer. House District 44, Representative Trujillo. House District 45, Representative Provenza. House District 46, Representative Andrew. House District 47, Representative Davis. House District 48, Representative Stiff. House District 49, Representative Berger. House District 50, Representative Rodriguez Williams. House District 51, Representative Western. House District 52, Representative Tarver. House District 53, Representative Knapp. House District 54, Representative Larson. House District 55, Representative Oakley. House District 56, Representative Obermueller. House District 57, Representative Ward. House District 58, Representative Alamand. House District 59, Representative O'Hearn. House District 60, Representative Nemak. House District 61, Representative Singh. And ending with House District 62, Representative Chadwick. Mr. Secretary, all members of the 67th Legislature of the House of Representatives are present.
Thank you, Deputy Naaman. Good afternoon, members-elect, members of the leadership team. It's been the practice of the House for the Secretary of State to say a few words at its opening as we prepare for the adoption of the temporary rules and as you're preparing to formally organize. And what an honor it is to address you before the legislative body where I first got involved in public service 6 years ago, and in the House that I love so much, a week and a half after leaving it. I know former Secretary Ed Buchanan felt the same way. Members-elect, congratulations on this enormous accomplishment. Traveling our great state this summer, seeing all of your efforts, your signs, your campaigning, walking in parades, your sweat equity, driven by your commitment to public service, your desire to improve our state, it energized me. And thank you to your families and your supporters, many who are here this morning to witness you take the oath of office. We would never have the opportunity to serve in these halls, to leave our businesses and our homes without your love and help. Thank you to the staff, and congratulations to Katie Talbot and John. Katie's the House's new chief clerk, and Wendy Harding is leaving huge shoes to fill, and I know you will fill them well. And if we could give a quick round of applause for the staff and for all of your families and supporters here. Six years ago, I was in the same position that you're in now, except at a slightly different location. We were at the temporary Capitol at the Jonah Building. Capitol renovation was in full swing. And after the long road to get here, I have some idea about how you might feel. The excitement to serve, the anticipation you're having, the bills you're preparing for filing, and the ones that you've already filed that you're realizing you got to improve a little bit through amendment, the deadlines you're trying to figure out. That desire to reach your full potential is driven by your motivation to be part of something bigger than yourself and help our state. Now is your moment to follow through on those ideas, those visions that you put forward to your neighbors that you represent. While I know you're excited to get to that oath of office and get to work in the session, allow me for a few minutes to provide a few reflections, lessons I learned the hard way, and suggestions. First, the breadth of the work you're about to undertake is invigorating. I'm not sure there are any other jobs out there where you'll go through such a breadth of topics in such a short period. One moment, you could be covering a bill on how our state should handle rock formations that are exposed by highway construction. And the next moment, a bill on how we should handle state investments. So cherish every moment while you can, because I don't think there are many jobs that have that breadth of decision-making, and it's really exciting. Second, remember the cyclical nature of our state revenues, and keep in mind spending with this in mind. At the time when I entered the legislature in 2017, we were in a bust cycle. The various reserve accounts set up for education were running out, and there was a feeling that it certainly would have been nice if there was a little more in our savings accounts. Please keep that in mind as you consider where to take our state fiscally. Our revenue base, as you know, is very cyclical because of the natural up and down nature of mineral revenues, and that's okay if it's managed correctly, but it takes discipline during the more revenue-rich periods like we have now. Please avoid the reckless short-termism that we've seen in policy at the federal level, and always think 10 steps ahead and about where our budget might be 5 years from now. Third, never forget what it means to be a citizen legislator. This is about service, and we must keep it that way. Always remember what your constituents, who may not be here due to distance or due to work, and who are working hard at each day improving our state, always remember what they would want you to do. We will continue the great work of the Wyoming Secretary of State's office. I want to thank the county clerks and for the Secretary of State staff for all their fantastic work administering elections, and look forward to working with them and continuing to improve our election statutes and practices. Our office just released our election integrity goals for the 2023 session, and I look forward to working with you and seeing those goals to fruition. The reason we're here, and one of the things I pray every morning when I wake up, is that we can improve. And that's noble, that's honorable, and that's a goal that we can share together. On the business division side, Wyoming is a leader in business filings. That is something we want to maintain, and we need to work on responsible and visionary uses of technology to improve our filing systems. I'm also becoming increasingly concerned, however, by foreign entities that could be taking advantage of business filings for nefarious purposes, and I look forward to working with the Joint Corporations Committee on this topic as well. That leads to my final suggestion. Take care of each other, mentor one another, communicate. Please take care of each other. I'll never forget when Representative Piperinen in the 2019 session, our last day in the Jonah building, when he had a stroke, and we were all noticing something a little off. Care for each other's health, and please say something if you see something. I'll never forget one of my mentors who's no longer with us, Representative Roy Edwards. There are going to be moments where you're on the losing side of a vote. Representative Edwards and I certainly were, especially in that first session. And I think good old Roy knew it was going to be a tough session. One day before the session, before being sworn in, he was in Casper, and he came by our office at the radio station, and he gave me a gift, a Bible that I cherish, and he told me that he believed in me. Watching him over the years, we would come up short quite a bit on different bills and amendments, but he never became bitter. He was always focused on becoming better. I cherished every moment with him, and please do that with your colleagues, because you never know when that opportunity may pass. Thank you to all who mentored me over the years. It was the privilege of a lifetime to serve in this house. God bless you, and God bless this wonderful house. God bless Wyoming, and God bless America. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I will now accept nominations for the temporary speaker.
I move Representative Obermueller for temporary speaker.
All those in favor of the motion to elect Representative Obermueller as temporary speaker, say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The motion carries. I appoint Representatives Henderson and Nicholas to escort temporary speaker Obermueller to the chair.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary of State. We're opening the 67th session of the Wyoming House of Representatives. The meeting will please come to order. I will accept nominations for temporary chief clerk.
Mr. Speaker, I move Katie Talbot as temporary chief clerk.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The motion carries. I appoint Representative Walters to serve as chairman of a credentials committee consisting of Representatives Dan Swanitzer, Brown, Haroldson, and Newsom. The committee will convene in the office of the Majority Floor Leader. This committee shall report its findings to the credentials of the membership of the House pursuant to Article 3, Section 10 of the Wyoming Constitution. The House will stand at ease until the sound of the gavel. The House will come to order. The temporary chief clerk will read the report.
Your Credentials Committee has received from the Secretary of State a certified list of the members elected to the House of Representatives of the 67th Legislature of the State of Wyoming according to the certificates of the State Canvassing Board as filed in the Office of the Secretary of State. We have reviewed that list and find it to be accurate. I move adoption of this report. Signed, Representative Walters, Chairman.
All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The motion carries. Would Justice Cotts please come to the rostrum to administer the oath of office to House members? House members, please rise.
Is that better? It is my honor to administer to you the oath prescribed by the laws of the state of Wyoming. Please raise your right hands. I state your name. having been elected as a member of the House of Representatives, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Wyoming. That I have not knowingly violated any law related to my election or caused it to be undone by others. And that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity. Congratulations. Thank you very much.
We are at that order of business of election of Speaker. The House will now receive nominations for Speaker from the floor.
Mr. Speaker, I nominate Representative Summers as Speaker of the House of Representatives for the 67th Wyoming Legislature.
Mr. Speaker, I second the nomination of Representative Summers.
It has been moved and seconded that Representative Summers be elected Speaker of the House of Representatives for the 67th Wyoming Legislature. Are there any other nominations for Speaker of the House? Representative Stivar.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move that we close nominations.
Do I hear a second? Without objection, so ordered. The temporary chief clerk will please call the roll.
Allemand. Allred. Andrew. Angelos. Banks. Bear. Berger. Brown. Burkhart. Byron. Chadwick. Chestick. Clauston. Conrad. Crago. Davis. Eklund. Haroldson. Harshman. Heiner. Henderson. Hornick. Jennings. Knapp. Larson Lloyd. Larson JT. Lawley. Locke. Nyman. Newsom. Nicholas. Nemec. Northrop. Oakley. Obermuller.
Aye.
O'Hearn. Olson. Ottman. Pendergraft. Penn. Provenza. Rodriguez Williams. Sherwood. Singh. Slagle. Smith. Stith. Storer. Strock. Stivar. Tarver. Trujillo. Walters. Ward. Washut. Western. Winter. Wiley. Yin. Swanitzer Dan. Swanitzer Dave. Summers. 62 ayes.
By a roll call vote, Representative Summers has been elected Speaker of the House of Representatives for the 67th Wyoming Legislature. I appoint Representatives Harshman and Northrup to escort Representative Summers to receive the oath of office and then take the chair.
First of all, I want to thank everybody that's been a part of this. You know, you'll hear a speech from me later, but the one thing is that nobody knows right now is that this gavel was made by Representative Harrelson for today, as well as this base, which is elm tree, and this is out of his backyard of his neighbor. So Representative Harrelson, that was a very, very nice gesture, so thank you. We are at that order of business of election of Speaker Pro Tem. The House will now receive nominations for Speaker Pro Tem from the floor.
Mr. Speaker, I nominate Representative Stith as Speaker Pro Tem of the House of Representatives for the 67th Wyoming Legislature.
Representative Western.
Mr. Speaker, I second the nomination of Representative Stith, and I ask for a roll call vote.
It has been moved and seconded that nominations cease and that Representative Stith be elected Speaker Pro Tem of the House of Representatives for the 67th Wyoming Legislature with a roll call vote. The temporary chief clerk will please call the roll.
Allemand? Allred? Andrew? Angelos? Banks? Bear? Berger? Brown? Burkhart? Byron? Chadwick? Chestick? Clauston? Conrad? Crago? Davis? Eklund? Haroldson? Harshman? Heiner? Henderson? Hornick? Jennings? Knapp? Larson Lloyd? Larson JT? Lawley? Locke? Nyman? Newsom? Nicholas? Nemec. Northrup. Oakley. Obermueller. O'Hearn. Olson. Ottman. Pendergraft. Penn. Provenza. Rodriguez Williams. Sherwood. Singh. Slagle. Smith. Stith. Storr. Strock. Stivar. Tarver. Trujillo. Walters. Ward. Washut. Western. Winter. Wiley. Yin. Zwanitzer Dan. Zwanitzer Dave. Speaker Summers.
Aye.
62 aye.
By a roll call vote of 62 ayes, 0 noes, Representative Stith has been elected as Speaker Pro Tem of the Wyoming House of Representatives for the 67th Wyoming Legislature. Hey! Hey! I appoint Representatives Wiley and J.T. Larson to escort Representative Stith to receive the oath of office.
The chair recognizes the Speaker of the House and would ask him to address the body.
Mr. Speaker Pro Tem, I have privilege of the floor.
Proceed.
Mr. Speaker Pro Tem, Mr. Majority Floor Leader, Mr. Majority Whip, Mr. Minority Floor Leader, distinguished guests, and ladies and gentlemen of the 67th Legislature. One of the greatest honors of my life has been to serve my constituents and the state of Wyoming and the Wyoming House of Representatives. To now serve this body as its Speaker is humbling. I would like to thank all the family members, neighbors, friends, employers, and business partners who support our efforts in the Wyoming Legislature. Without them, we could not serve. Congratulations on being elected to the Wyoming House of Representatives. Like our predecessors, we face challenges, but we also have great opportunities. It is incumbent upon us to move beyond our differences and seize those opportunities for the betterment of Wyoming and its people. I pledge to help maintain the integrity of this institution. The legislative process depends upon us building relationships with constituents, House members, Senate members, and the executive branch. At no time in my life have I seen our state so divided. We must pull back from the abyss. The bitterness that divides Wyoming is spawned by fear, a fear that is fueled by the inability to discern the truth and by feeling our voices aren't heard. Wyoming and this nation will survive this difficult time if we turn toward our neighbors with compassion, not judgment. if we act upon the better side of our nature and not give in to our worst habits. We must each stand firm in our beliefs, but be willing to bend towards each other to solve the challenges facing Wyoming. We are here to solve problems, and that can only be done by starting conversations, building trust, and forming relationships. Building relationships is impossible if we lack civility and foment discord. We will disagree on many issues, but we must maintain decorum and civility to each other and to the public that we represent. Please allow me to introduce you to my family, friends, and ranch partner, to people who have supported me and allowed me to serve this institution in Wyoming. First, I will introduce you to my sister, Jonita Summers, and her friend, Ann Noble, who is the wife of a local rancher. These women are the historians of our valley and have written award-winning books on local history. My sister has been one of my fiercest supporters. Jonita, I appreciate all you've done for me, for ranching, and for the preservation of ranch history in our valley and the state. Thank you. You know, we had a training for new members, and you know, we had everybody kind of get up to the mic, and I just said flat out, I said, I'm a crier, so you're going to have to get used to it for this speech. Next, I will direct your attention to the South Gallery as I introduce you to my ranch partner, Ty Swain, his wife, Maddie, and their children, Shad and Jaylee. Ty and Maddie, please stand. Thank you. My wife and I have no children, and neither does my sister, so we decided to gift our ranch to our neighbor's son, and Ty accepted the offer. I'm not sure Ty knew all he was getting into, but he is working hard, has done a great job, and owns most of the ranch today. Without Ty's support and hard work, I could have not continued as a representative. Ty and Maddie, thank you for all of your sacrifices, hard work, and for caring about a ranch that I hope will help build the bones of your family as it has mine. Ty and Maddie's children, Shad and Jaylee, are the great-great-grandchildren of the last Speaker of the House from Sublette County, Joe Budd. Maddie's great-grandfather, Joe, served as Speaker from 1961 to 63, and the House photo that includes him as Speaker is in front of the dais. Thank you again, Ty and Maddie. In the summer of 2021, at 5 years old, Shad rode his horse 10 days straight on our cattle drive to the mountain. That is Wyoming. Wyoming is like that. We walk into an airport and we see a Pokes hat and start visiting. Soon strangers recognize they know someone in common. I know it's overused, but Wyoming really is a small town with long streets, and those streets have beauty that many people never recognize. When I have a meeting in Casper, I travel down the foothills of the west side of the Wind River Mountains, cross South Pass, travel over Beaver Rim, and then on to Jeffrey City, a not-so-gentle reminder of the boom and bust in Wyoming. From Jeffrey City to Casper, I go by landmarks of the Oregon Trail, including Devil's Gate, which is a reminder of human perseverance. Every street in the small town that is Wyoming has a story. The names just change. Fellow representatives, I urge you to learn those streets and those stories, because who we are is rooted deeply in these long streets. These streets have beauty, lessons to be learned, and opportunities. Be respectful and mindful of the past, but remember, we must move Wyoming into the future. I saved the hardest but most important introduction for last, my wife, Sue. Sue has encouraged my engagement in public service from the beginning of our relationship, regardless of the stress and inconvenience that it placed on her and us. Sue, I love you very much. I am indebted to you for your friendship, your counsel, and your caring. She has been my campaigner and my editor. Sue, you are a talented woman. It is my privilege and honor to be your husband. I have been gone home too much, and I doubt the citizens of this state understand the sacrifice families go through to serve this great state in this institution. Sue, thank you for your love and support, even when I have not been there to support you. Members of the Thank you. When you come down here, remember who you love. And remember to pay respects to them when you get back, because it is hard on relationships, particularly when you've been at it this long. And so be mindful of the people behind you. Members of the 67th, I will work hard for you and the people of Wyoming. I urge you to work hard as well. This is a representative form of government, and people send you to Cheyenne because they trust you. Leadership is about doing what's right for the state and its people. You will learn more about the law and state government than your constituents will ever know. That means you must educate your constituents about the complex issues we debate and the hard decisions you make. Members of the 67th, please show each other some grace in difficult moments and be respectful of our hardworking staff. And I want to really thank the Secretary of State for bringing up our staff and giving them the kudos they well deserve. Thank you. May the 67th Legislature serve Wyoming in a manner that we, our predecessors, and our successors will be proud of. Thank you. Mr. Speaker Pro Tem.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. And members, thank you for the confidence that you've placed in me, and I hope to be worthy of it. In preparation for this speech today, I looked back to the speech given by my predecessor on the first day of the opening session of the 66th legislature, only to discover that because it was conducted remotely by video, that there was no speech by the Speaker Pro Tem. So I assure you that my speech today will be equally as memorable. So congratulations to all of you. As you may have heard yesterday from Justice Couts and Chief Justice Fox, the Supreme Court, when interpreting the bills that we enact into law, presumes that the legislature has full knowledge of existing law. Sadly, that jurisprudential omniscience does not survive adjournment. But there are lessons to be learned there. One is the respect that we have and should have for the judicial branch and the executive branch, commensurate with respect that they show to us. And the second lesson from that maxim, I believe, is that when our colleagues bring amendments to our bills, they are not our adversaries, they are our friends, and they may be seeking to avoid the unintended consequences of what we have drafted. We will have robust debate, we will have civilized debate, we will disagree with each other, but I know that you have the best interests of Wyoming at heart. So thank you very much. To the people of the state of Wyoming, I say that this is the hardest working legislature in America. We will get done in 40 days what other legislatures take months to do. Politics may seem like a messy and disjointed business, but it's this business of politics and legislating, it's how we get things done. It's how we translate our core values and the desires of our constituents into policy that affects people's lives. This year, we have an unexpected surplus. We need to figure out what to do with that. As the ancient Greeks used to say, we regard wealth not as something to boast about, but rather as something to be properly used. And I look forward to discussing with you how we do that. I want you to know that this is not just, for me, this is not just public business. You are my friends, and I cherish my time here in the legislature with you, and I hope to be worthy of your trust. Thank you.
Thank you for your remarks, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. Would Representatives Eklund and Dave Zwanitzer escort the Speaker Pro Tem to his seat? Mr. Minority Floor Leader Yin. And would ask for his remarks. Would Representative Sherwood and Provenza please escort the Minority Floor Leader to the podium? Mr. Minority Floor Leader.
Mr. Speaker, privilege of the floor.
Please.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished members of the 67th Wyoming House of Representatives, thank you for your willingness to serve this great state. It is my high honor to stand before you today and welcome you all. Thank you to the Minority Caucus for electing me as their leader. Without them, they're my rock and they're my center, and they remind me why I'm here, as well as where we're going and where we're looking to go. Our Minority Caucus looks forward to working with all of you this session. We know that Wyomingites can achieve the American dream. A Wyoming where you can find opportunity, whether that's a satisfying career or to start a small business that can become successful. We want a Wyoming to be a place where that you can raise a family, a Wyoming where your kids can grow up and find opportunity and afford their own home so they can stay in Wyoming. I think these are all goals that all of us can share and can work towards finding solutions together. Wyoming is currently in a unique position right now. As you heard from Speaker Pro Tem Stith, because of the combination of ARPA funds being applied very effectively in our current oil and gas prices, Wyoming's given an opportunity to support its people. That means that we can work on economic development for all of our communities, strengthening our infrastructure for the future and ensuring no Wyomingite is left behind. We can ensure that Wyomingites can entrust their kids to an education system that benefits all of Wyoming, so they can achieve success and benefit their individual communities. We can work to help lower our constituents' healthcare costs while increasing access to healthcare. We can ensure that our citizens stay in their homes with property tax relief, and we can ensure that our young adults can afford that starter house and build their own equity with a focus on affordable housing. All of these are possible if we work together. And so, on behalf of my caucus, we extend the possibility of the partnership to help Wyomingites achieve the American dream. And with that, let's get to work.
Thank you. Thank you for your remarks, Minority Floor Leader. Would Representatives Chestick and Storr please escort the Minority Floor Leader to his seat? Thank you. The chair recognizes the Majority Floor Leader, Representative Nyman. and would ask for his remarks. Would Representative Jennings and Ottman please escort the majority floor leader to the podium? Mr. Majority Floor Leader,
Mr. Speaker, privilege of the floor.
please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I don't normally write a speech, so don't be scared. There's nothing here. This is just the order. All of you have this, so I'm not going to read out of that. It is truly an honor to serve in the Wyoming House. It is nothing that I would have ever have thought about in my life, and as I've looked back in a very short career politically, it astounds me at what you can accomplish in this great United States of America and in this Wyoming. We should all be thrilled and excited at the opportunities that we have and that we are afforded as Americans. To be engaged in the process, to be willing to serve and to be able to give to back or give to others with a heart for humanity and a heart for a willingness to be able to contribute. And as I look around this chamber today, that is what I see. I see men and women who are putting aside their jobs, their careers, to come and to legislate and to affect the lives of future generations. You are all statesmen and stateswomen that will look, I trust, not to this generation, but to future generations in everything that you do, because everything that you lay your hands to will have an effect. The people at home have trusted you. They've placed their faith in you to come here and to reflect their views and their values. And I am so blessed to have the opportunity to work with all of you to help you and accomplish that task as your majority floor leader. One person I need to tell, Joni, couldn't do this without you. She's the only reason I can do this. And so it is her who I thank. The reason I'm here, and the reason that I do this, and I trust the reason that all of you do as well, is something that I read, and it is on my office wall. And it was declared in our Declaration of Independence as a nation. And it says, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal and are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, which among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. Let us never forget that is who we serve. We are here at their leisure. We serve under their consent." I gave an address to a graduation in Lusk, Wyoming, and I have never thought about this but there was somebody that asked me there at the superintendent actually of the school. He said, "What is your charge going to be to the students?" And that took me off guard. But I believe God gave me the exact charge to give those kids. And I give that same charge to all of you as legislators. Above all you do, I charge you all to protect freedom. In every piece of legislation that you provide and that we act on here, that the key thing that we would be reminded of as citizens of this great and mighty nation, that we would work diligently to preserve freedom first. With that, I look forward to and am blessed at the opportunity to be able to serve with you and to serve your leisure as your majority floor leader. And I will tell you all, and you need to understand this, and I am completely genuine in this, I love you all. And I am thankful to have the opportunity to be able to share this great opportunity with our state. The 67th will be one of the most incredible legislatures Wyoming has ever turned out, and will be a greater blessing to the people of our state than any of us could have ever begun to imagine. And I am thrilled to be able to be a part of it. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you for your remarks, Majority Floor Leader. Would Representative Bear and Andrew please escort the Majority Floor Leader to his seat? Thank you. Justice Couts, please accept our profound gratitude for taking the time to be here today to administer the oaths of office to members of the House of Representatives. We sincerely appreciate your time and dedication to our people in Wyoming. Would Representatives Lawley and Olson please escort Justice Couts from the chambers? Mr. Majority Floor Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that persons whose names appear on the list proposed employees be House employees for this session in positions so indicated on the list. Oops. No, I just need the list of names. Here it is. Excuse me. Chief Clerk, Katie Talbot. Assistant Chief Clerk, Reader, John Earnshaw. Computer Floor Clerk, Chris Carlson. Journal Clerk, Gwen Vines. Messengers, Charlene Randolph. Debbie Russell. Attorney Secretary, Clarissa Nord. Page, Patty Mangini. She can throttle me later. But here's the thing. This staff has been here the longest, 22 years, has served in this legislature as a staff member. She's the most senior staff member. Majority Leadership Secretary, yeah. Let's stand and give her a hand. Thank you, Representative Zwanitzer. Majority Leadership Secretary Carol Clark. Committee Secretaries, Staff Supervisor Cindy Farwell. Judiciary Debbie Russell. Appropriations Jackie Childress. Revenue and Labor Marilyn Jeffrey. Education and Transportation Diana Hicksenbaugh. Travel and Corporations Barb Austin. Agricultural and Minerals Mark Knotts. Support Clerk Denise Knotts. Copy Center Clerk Sandy Dent. Sergeant at Arms Dennis Russell. Doorman for the Gallery Ed Mangina. Doorman for the Chamber Greg Yarber. Hospitality for in the mornings will be taken care of by Jackie Wortman, and in the afternoons, Virginia Spindler.
All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. I want to really thank our staff before they get started and all they do, and I think poor Ed Mangini has only been here about 13 years, so just a note to Ed as well. We really appreciate him. Mr. Majority Floor Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move the permanent House and joint rules of the 66th Legislature budget session be adopted as the temporary rules of the House of Representatives for the 67th Wyoming Legislature General Session.
All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. The Chief Clerk is directed to notify His Excellency, the Governor, that the General Session of the House of Representatives 67 Wyoming Legislature is duly organized and ready to receive any communication he may desire to submit. I further direct the Chief Clerk to notify the Senate that the House of Representatives 67th Wyoming Legislature is duly organized and ready to receive any communication they may desire to submit. As Speaker, the Chair will meet with the President of the Senate to make arrangements for the joint session of House and Senate to receive the Governor's message. I appoint Representative Ottman as Chairman of the Courtesy Committee, consisting of Representatives Lawley, Angelos, O'Hearn, and Sherwood, for the general session of the House of Representatives 67th Wyoming Legislature to wait upon members who are ill and attend to other courtesies as are from time to time deemed official by the membership. I appoint the House Standing Committees for the House of Representatives 67th Wyoming Legislature as shown on the distributed list. I'd like to thank all members, families, and guests for attending today. Mr. Majority Floor Leader. What time is it? We're good for the hour and a half. Be back at 3. Well, no, we better do an hour.
Mr. Speaker, I move the House be in recess until 2:15 p.m.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. So we'll now stand in recess until that time. You guys can visit with your family, and then we will come back in. We'll read some bills in, and then we will have our whole house caucus. We'll start at 3 p.m. or a little later if we don't get enough bills introduced in time. And at that whole house caucus, we will have, which will be a closed caucus, we will elect our House at-large member of Management Council. And then following that at 4 will be House Rules Committee to look at rules and the Wyoming Manual of Legislative Procedures. So that's where we're at. Stand adjourned. Stand at recess, I mean.